Take a moment. Let your shoulders drop. Breathe deeper than usual. This exact moment, where you are right now, is not a mistake. You're not here by chance. Every detail of this moment was planned and placed in your story long before you knew what you'd need. Before your first breath, I had already seen what was ahead. And today, I need you to hear something clearly. The path I once set for you is shifting. Not because you failed, but because you've outgrown what once fit. This is the beginning of a new direction. Not a detour, an expansion. You haven't lost your way, you are becoming. Now is the moment to take the next step. You didn't stumble upon this message. You were led here, drawn by something far greater than your understanding. Because this isn't just comfort. It's confirmation. The reason things feel out of sync is simple: the rhythm has changed. Some things fell away, not as punishment, but as pruning. I was preparing you. Now, I'm releasing you from what once held you back. The old plan has been revised. The map redrawn with heavenly ink. You are not disqualified. You've graduated. There are times when heaven realigns, and the calling takes on new coordinates. That's what this is. I haven't changed my love for you. But I have updated the route. The destination is still glory, but the path has been refined, deepened, and paved with grace. Do you feel the stirring in your chest? That's your spirit touching what heaven already knows. This isn't just a turning point, it's the end of who you used to be. Fear, doubt, hesitation, leave them behind. You are standing on the edge between what was and what now will be. What I'm about to do will silence every lie that tried to define you. The survival season is ending. The surrender season is becoming a season of power. You are not delayed, you are being deepened. What felt like a pause was my positioning. This new path won't require you to prove your worth. It will require you to be who you truly are, the version of you who stood firm when everything fell apart. The one who chose light in the dark. That version unlocked a level of anointing that wasn't available before. Glance back for a moment, not to dwell, but to remember. Remember the nights you nearly gave up. The sleepless hours, the forced smiles, the silent tears. I saw it all. I counted every tear, heard every unspoken prayer. And I stored them like seeds in the soil of heaven. Now those seeds are breaking open. Now begins the harvest I promised, back when all you had was hope. And this change isn't just about your life, it's about the lives connected to yours. What you carry now is no longer just potential. It's power. Sacred power. Heaven-infused influence that moves without needing permission. You wondered why it had to be so hard. Why people couldn't stay. Why the road got narrower the further you went. My child, it's because not everyone was ready to witness what I was building inside you. You weren't being forgotten, you were being hidden. Hidden beneath the surface while I crafted something unstoppable. Now, the unveiling begins. But it won't be loud. It'll be a shift in atmosphere. You'll walk into rooms and the space will recognize your authority before you speak. You'll pray, and heaven will move. You'll rest, and healing will flow from your stillness. There were things I withheld because I needed your character to be strong enough to carry them. There were doors I delayed because what I'm giving you now is too important for rushed maturity. You didn't waste time. I was guarding it. And now I'm redeeming it. Every moment of silence. Every closed door. Every time someone said, "You're too much," or, "You're not enough," none of it was wasted. It was training. It was pruning. And now, the garments of glory are being placed on you. This shift in plans isn't an apology, it's a promotion. You're no longer who you once were. That's why you can't stay where you once fit. There's an echo forming behind you. Not of applause, but of alignment. Heaven is harmonizing with your next step. What used to intimidate you will now bow before you. What once drained you will now recognize the light in you and retreat. I'm not just changing your path, I'm changing your presence. You carry something now that cannot be shaken by outside resistance. You've endured too much to be shaken by surface level noise. Your roots are deep. Deeper than trauma, deeper than disappointment, deeper than fear. That's why you're still standing. And that's why I can trust you with what's next. This is not about being seen, it's about being sent. You are a carrier of something consecrated. Your voice, your story, your silence, all are instruments I've tuned for this new melody. You won't have to force anyone to understand. Those meant to run with you will feel the rhythm and respond. They'll sense it in their spirit before they even know your name. Don't shrink back to make others comfortable. I didn't redesign you to fit old structures. I rebuilt you to carry something the world hasn't seen yet. Something forged in fire. And what comes from the fire doesn't apologize for shining. You were misunderstood because your depth made others feel shallow. You were overlooked because your stillness was mistaken for smallness. But I didn't miss a single movement. I watched you choose faith even when you doubted everything. I saw the cost. And now I'm releasing the return. But hear this, it's not about being rewarded, it's about being ready. You are stepping into emotional, spiritual, and relational territory that was once locked. The key was never your strength, it was your surrender. You will walk into places and break patterns. Cycles will stop simply because you entered the room. Strongholds will tremble because your spirit no longer carries the residue of fear. I've cleansed that, healed that, rewritten that. Now you walk like one rooted not by accident, but by divine design. The paths others took won't work for you. Their methods don't apply. Because I'm creating a new way in you and through you. A path carved by obedience. A road lit by revelation. A journey confirmed by peace that defies circumstance. Let them wonder how it happened. Let them question how you endured. Let them try to define the weight you carry now. You owe no explanations, only alignment. Stay close to me. Stay sensitive. You'll know when to speak, and when to remain silent. Because this shift is not loud. It's sacred. And I'll do more in a single moment of surrender than you could in years of striving. The world will call it sudden, but you'll know it was sacred. You're not rising by accident, you're being elevated by decision. My design. The plan has changed, my child. And it begins now. You don't need to justify what you're doing. You don't need to explain what no one can see. Now, there's a new authority in your voice. Not by volume, but by alignment, that alignment that makes heaven sustain your words. When you speak, you're not just bringing comfort, you're bringing transformation. You will see changes happen in people's lives, not because you're trying harder, but because you're finally walking in sync with the purpose I revealed to you long ago. This alignment between who you are and what you carry is the foundation of spiritual impact. I have kept your potential as a precious treasure. That's why some doors closed before you could enter. Not every rejection was a no, some were protection. Because exposure without preparation is dangerous. I care more about lasting impact than fleeting applause. What I give you now is not just visibility, but vision. You will begin to see clearly, feel deeply, and above all, walk in peace. For when heaven begins a new chapter, chaos loses its power. You are entering a time when strategy must give way to what I have already written. The plans you carefully crafted now bow before the unfolding of my will. That doesn't mean your planning was wrong, but that the time is right. What I'm building in you doesn't need your perfection, but your permission. Permission to let go, to move forward, to stop doubting what your spirit already confirmed. You already know this season is different. You felt the restlessness, the divine dissatisfaction. I'm taking you from mere survival into significance. Even your silence was sacred. The moments when you couldn't explain what was happening, when you stopped trying to convince others to understand, were sacred. I used that silence to strengthen your discernment, deepen your roots, and teach you to hear my voice above all others. Now, when I whisper, you listen without hesitation. This clarity will guide you. This peace you sought will be a beacon to lead others through storms they cannot name. What I developed in you in silence will now echo loudly. Some will return, not because they changed, but because your transformation is drawing them in. Be wise, be kind, but don't get distracted. This elevation is not a return to the old, but a step towards something greater. You are not being invited to relive old pains, but to lead others to freedom. Your life has become a map for those lost in waiting. They don't need your perfection, but your presence, the one who walked through fire without bitterness, who journeyed through isolation and came out whole, who let go of what was to make room for what is. You are no longer who you used to be, and that is proof of change. You don't react the same way, don't chase the things that once drained you. This is not coldness, but clarity, the foundation of the new season you are living. You will not rebuild with what broke, but with what remained after the storm. Your peace, your persistence, your praise, and even your pain. These were your bricks, and now I'm handing you the blueprint. Surreal moments will come when dreams once distant become visible. Don't retreat, don't doubt you deserve this. You are not entering a reward, but taking on a responsibility. This is the beginning of construction, not the end of your growth. What I entrust to you is not just for your comfort, but a calling. Not just for healing, but for transformation that spans generations. You are the change no one saw coming, the transformation they weren't prepared for, the light they couldn't extinguish. And when you walk firmly, calmly, and rooted, you will know every tremor was worth it. That's why the weight carried weight, and rejection was necessary. It was never punishment, but protection, preparation, and precision. Now is the time for presence, your full presence, as I created you. Not diluted, not explained, just whole here and now. The plan has changed and it starts now. Something is happening around you. It's subtle but unmistakable. The winds that once blew against you now move in your favor. The pressure you felt wasn't to destroy you, but to sharpen your senses. You were trained in the invisible, shaped in silence, matured without applause. Now, as the air shifts and the heavens align, everything around you reflects what has already changed inside you. You are no longer the same, and because you changed, nothing around you will remain the same. You're beginning to notice this. Conversations sound different, environments weigh or lighten, and you know how to discern without explanation. This is not imagination. The discomfort you feel when something is wrong is discernment, not anxiety. The peace you keep even when everything seems confusing is authority, not ignorance. I have established spiritual intelligence in you, the ability to sense beyond what is said, to know beyond facts, to see beyond appearances. This is the gift of this new season. You will not be fooled by the surface, you will be led by truth. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it is your weapon. It allowed you to hear my voice where others heard only noise. It made you stop when others rushed forward. You saw more because you carried more, and you carried more because I trusted you. Even when you didn't trust yourself, even when you wondered why you were so different, why your heart was so deep and sensitive, I was shaping something rare. A strong vessel to bear weight without breaking, open to carry light without losing any. That's why your path was not crowded. I needed silence to mold you, stillness to speak what only your spirit could receive, wisdom not taught in words, only heard in the desert. Now that you have heard my voice here, it won't be confused with noise. You will not follow empty movements. You will know when to move forward and, more importantly, when to stay. This is a freedom not just from what held you back, but from what no longer defines you. You are no longer bound to the identity of the struggle. You are not the person who needed to prove your worth through performance. I'm taking that burden off you. Removing that expectation. You don't need to earn what I have already decided to give. My grace has spoken over you, my hand has protected you. My plans have changed, but my love for you never wavered. This transformation doesn't mean I'm distant, but that I am deeply present. I am the author of your story, and today I turn the page. Not everyone will understand what is happening. Some will try to make you go back to who you were. Others will only remember the past. Let them be. You don't need to rewrite their memory. Just step into your renewal. Their understanding is not your responsibility, your obedience is. Keep walking, even if your words echo behind you. I will not take you back. I'm revealing what I prepared while you walked by faith. When they see, they won't know how or when it happened, because I did it in invisible places, where your eyes couldn't see, but my spirit worked fully. You paid a price in silence, were faithful behind the scenes. Now I'm ready to show the fruit of that faithfulness. Not for display or validation, but as a testimony. Others are watching your journey. Maybe they won't admit it, but they see what happens when someone trusts me even without understanding. They are waiting to see if surrender leads somewhere. When they see where I'm leading you, they will return to believe, to question, to hope. It's not about proving someone wrong, but proving my word true. The promises whispered when no one could hear, I am fulfilling them. The dreams that didn't die, even after disappointments came back. Those seeds now sprout. You thought you lost them, but they were buried deeper than you imagined. Now the soil is loose, the light touches parts of you that haven't felt hope in a long time. And your heart is learning to believe again. It's okay to be cautious, it's okay if joy feels strange. This is healing, renewal. You're not broken for feeling uncertain, you're being rebuilt. Your mind is adjusting to the reality your spirit already accepted. You are no longer in the same place. The chains that bound you no longer exist. The weight on your shoulders is lighter, not because the world changed, but because you changed. Now you walk at a different pace, a divine rhythm that cannot be rushed or faked. I don't ask for strength, but that you flow with me. With this time and this path, You will know where to go, not just by logic, but